Hello, I'm Whitney.
I'm Taylor, and we are the Ghost Sisters.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. All right.
Nope,
So,
go. Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
oh God, okay.
Because I was like, you
We
normally have business or something like that. So,
I
like,
do have business.
which is
Yes,
shocking because I actually don't know what the business is. Do I?
kind of. We
Kind
our
of.
little
You should be involved, but like you may not be. So, like, maybe.
it's stuff we already talked about that I just like. Anyway, okay. So, um, in our last episode, we asked Tori to tell us if Gustav Holst named did his
Well, yeah, it was like super into astrology.
yeah. So
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy, Tori got back to me. She was like, "You called me out," so I was like, "Okay, I'll respond." I was like, "Sorry."
Damn
Um,
right. And now she's like, bitches, stop doing it again.
I know, right? So, she told me that he was an astrology nerd, and so he was commissioned to write a piece, and he was like, "I'm gonna write about the fucking planets," but at the time period, so we only discovered Pluto in 1937, so Pluto wasn't one of them. She was like, I think it's just Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, and
Uranus.
No, Uranus wasn't one of them. Which one am I thinking of?
So they didn't find Uranus?
They sure didn't probe it.
Oh, good. I was say
So,
mine is big enough that you can see it no matter what.
oh my, don't
Oh
even
my.
need a telescope.
Nope. It is like, oh bam. Anyways.
So, she said that ultimately, kind of like Tchaikovsky and the Nutcracker Suite, how that's what he became known for. Gustav became known for the planets, and he ended up hating the series.
Oh,
So
so also like Celine Dion.
yes, I like how she equated it to Tchaikovsky, and you equated it to Celine Dion.
Well, we each have our niche,
Just different experiences in music.
Yeah.
So she was like, so every time somebody plays the planets, he rolls around in his grave. It was like, oh. So
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that he rolls his eyes, and I was like, well, that's gonna be difficult.
that's scary.
But
so
okay.
so that is the first bit of business.
Hmm.
The second bit of business is Whitney and I officially have booked a room in Miss Molly's bed and breakfast in Fort Worth Stockyards.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We actually booked the Miss Josie room, which is supposedly the most haunted. She is the madam of Miss Molly's back in the day whenever it was a Bordeaux.
And Taylor, we're gonna get a little bit of payback because last time she was all like, let's rank up the spookers and then left. So we're gonna go and we're gonna rile them back up, and then I'm gonna leave and she's gonna do it by herself afterwards. So
Yeah.
and then we get to go through and you get to be like, I slept in that? Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I have so much equipment. I'm going to have a game plan set up, and I'm likely going to end up having the SLS cam on me while I sleep. So,
Da 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 da.
yes, I'm not going to give you a ETA on when that episode will be out because we're talking hours of audio and hours of video footage, and we're going to have to split it up accordingly so that we can try to get it out in a timely manner.
But we're gonna have a lot in the meantime, so it's not like we're
Yes.
gonna be missing anything. It's just
Yes.
we'll get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my astrology series. Whitney's got some more creature features to do.
Rita Pita.
And yas. And so that'll be the fun thing that happens. We're going next week. We're going the week of the 4th of July. So
Woo, woo, woo,
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
woo, woo. I'm doing a weird
And
dance. Nobody can see it, but
she
that's okay.
it's like a ridiculous robot. That's not the robot.
It's like a robot that's malfunctioning that just
Fair.
keeps like,
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
That was accurate. Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's all my business. You are welcome to talk about what we're talking about today. Very
So,
British.
yeah. Yeah. So today, everybody, Taylor tasked me with black-eyed children.
And I'm
So
so excited because this is so fucked up. The Black Eyed Children, the very small bit I know about it is horrific. So I'm excited to be creeped out.
now I'm like, I hope I can live up to it. I don't know. I don't feel like, I
You
mean,
can.
well, okay. We'll
I
figure it
mean,
out. You're either going to tell me, hey, Whitney, that sucked. And I'm going to be like, well, screw you. Or you're going to be like, no, that was pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's get into it. All
Let's
right.
go.
So, black eyed children. What are they? Literally the title of my notes. What are they? It's like when I tried to look up how to Ouija.
Yep.
Yep.
How to Ouija.
How to Ouija. So there's two main thoughts and theories about the black eyed children. They're children of the devil or aliens. Um,
Legit. Okay.
so those are the main theories for it. There are some other theories that are behind them, kind of like ghosts.
Okay.
Um, some people, which I'm like, n- eh, for the ghosts, and then vampires, and we'll get into explaining why on that one.
Okay.
And then this one I didn't see much elaboration on, but just practitioners of black magic.
Oh, okay. Like
In what way? I do not know.
like the children are doing the black magic, or maybe they're like the result of black magic, or
I feel like if they are
hmm.
the practitioners of it, they are the ones doing the black magic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But again, that's literally all I find. They were like, it could be all of these, or they do black magic. Done. Mic drop.
They're all of these and they do black magic.
They're they are something. Um,
They are.
so another theory, and this is kind of where I start to go, is they were kind of like a creepy pasta, kind of like Slender Man, and here we are.
Gotcha.
People believed, and here we are, which leads me to also wonder, Santa, like he oh, Taylor's eyes got big.
Oh. I never
Oh,
thought about that because that is a huge theory that you can, if you believe strongly enough in a particular being, like we had
yeah,
talked about it long few several episodes ago
that was
about
like one of our first
how,
episodes.
yeah, Amy and Adam were able to basically create an entity to go along with this particular energy that was there and change its story just because they believed that that's what it was. And
Right.
we've got the Rake, we've got Slender Man. These were all creepy pastas that started that we now think are becoming actual beings because people believe in them. So why not Santa?
Because I mean, if you go with the theory of elf, you've got to sing loud for all those around, like to spread Christmas cheer. And Santa can only do his job if enough people believe. So, is Santa one of those things?
Maybe.
Are the black eyed children one of those things? Are Santa and black eyed children the same thing?
Oh, no. No. I don't wanna think about a black-eyed child Santa. Oh, that's
What if
horrific, Whitney. I got a
oh,
horrible image.
see, I went, what if Santa now I'm like with the, uh oh my god, Futurama with, like, Santa's actually evil, and but instead of, like, having elves, he has black-eyed children.
Ooh,
Ooh.
no, that's not okay. That's horrible.
Yeah, so, aside from, like, my personal theories and stuff, and then people thinking they're vampires and apparently black magic users, um, ghosts is the other prevalent one, so we've got children of the devil, aliens, those are the main ones, and then possible ghosts. So,
Mhm.
the main ghost theory is there were um, 2 siblings, Josh Collins and Emma Collins, and then 2 of their friends, Remy and Joe, apparently were playing in the woods and they all died due to foul play at some point. And so I didn't go too far into it. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I just was like noted and moved on. But it's believed
Got
that
the info, gonna go.
gonna go. So it's believed that like they could be the black-eyed children, but I think the reason I didn't really look too much into it is because I was "Eh." Like I don't
Yeah.
feel like I feel whenever people are like, it's a ghost. I'm like, okay, then it's a ghost. It's not a black-eyed child. That's the reason why I'm like, I don't feel like it's the same. And I actually
Right.
have like a sighting where I'm like, okay, that probably was a ghost versus a black-eyed child. We'll
Okay.
get there.
Cool.
So they are normally like really pale. They have deep dark eyes, except it's possible that they could have normal looking eyes and then all of a sudden they switch to just these dark pits. Um,
Ugh.
ugh.
Nothing
So
about that's okay.
yeah, they normally can range between the ages of 6 and 16, so you can see like a variety. If you,
A black-eyed preteen.
no, God, the angst and everything that goes with that, that sounds terrible. Which I mean, in general, they seem pretty angsty. Like they got some issues.
They got shit.
They got shit. I did see one source that said they have talons for feet. It was
Black-eyed bird children?
it was very specific and I was very confused because at no point was it like, and then it walked into my home and it took its shoes off and it had talons for feet. It just some sources say they have talons for feet. I don't know who's taking
Well,
their shoes off.
we
I don't.
also have a butterfly vomiting vampire, so
Very true. That is
yeah,
very true. Um Yeah, so who knows? Maybe they have talents, maybe they don't. Maybe they have
right.
cute little feet. We don't know. Who knows? Feet aren't cute at all whatsoever.
No,
Sorry.
they're not.
But
I don't like
bleh.
feet. They're terrible.
They're just your body makes a 90-degree angle and just stops growing. It's just okay. Moving on. Stop laughing at
Wait.
me.
Woo! She got something pent up in there.
I the thought of feet and really like hands and stuff, your body just stopped.
Mhm,
It was like, "That's enough. I have
mhm,
branched out and I am finished. That's
mhm.
enough."
And even then, it branched out 5 times and wasn't like, "Ooh, I should branch out 5 more times on each of these branches."
Ugh. Ugh. Oh, that gave me
Finger
heaves.
fingers.
Stop. Stop. Okay, so back to the black-eyed children. So,
Yes.
um, they're said to kind of be wearing, like, ragged clothing, or they have clothing that doesn't seem to fit in this time period.
Mhm.
Um, so they just look really out of place. Or if they're if you see them more like in the suburbs, they've got like more country attire. Like it just seems like they don't belong. It's just weird.
Okay.
Along with that, their speech can sometimes be a little weird. So like we'll talk about it a little, but it'll be like they kind of have like a weird not pattern. They just use different words for things that we don't say anymore. So like like
A
can I
vernacular.
a vernacular? Yeah, because they'll be like, can I use your phone? Instead of saying, can I use your phone? They'll be like, can I use your cellular cellular device or whatever? I don't know. I am
Your
not a
cell
black-eyed
phone, telephone.
yeah, they'll say something weird like that where you're like, it's just a phone, dude. Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have that. Um, Sometimes if you see them, you may go to like initiate a conversation before they even try to, and they will not respond. They're just, nope. They will talk to you whenever they are ready to talk to you for whatever it is that they need to talk to you about.
I tell
So
you what, I'm not initiating any kind of anything with that. I'm running the other way if I see one of them.
fair.
If I
But
see a child in like Victorian clothing, I'm going the other way. It doesn't matter.
even like a child that's reenacting,
Only if I'm in a reenacting experience.
fair. It's fair. To your point, Taylor, they do seem very sinister and they are very terrifying, and they can cause feelings of dread like as soon as people come across them. Like, as soon as a word is spoken from them, they already are, like, on edge and a little put off by the entire situation.
Mhm,
They do normally travel in groups, mostly they're in pairs, so there's always gonna be, or not always, but for the most part, there's at least 2 of them. Sometimes they're the same age or there will be one that's older than the other one.
mhm,
Um, but it's pretty rare to see one by themselves. So, like I said, sometimes like if they're in a suburban area versus a rural area, they may have different outfits. But you can find them like on highways, on streets, residential areas. They're just kind of like everywhere,
yeah,
everywhere and nowhere at the same time, which is not okay.
nope.
Nope. So they do their main like gig, get up, MO, I don't know,
Yeah, I
whatever
was
you
gonna
want to
say
call it.
modus operandi.
Yeah, whatever that thing is. Yeah. So they normally will like go knock on doors or windows and ask to come in. Um a lot of times they're saying that they need to call their parents, and which just the whole time had me thinking of like Doctor Who, and they're like, "Mummy, the gas
Are
mask
you
kid,
my
are
mummy?
you my mummy?" So, which was terrifying all on its own, but this
Yeah,
is also pretty terrifying. So, like, they may say something weird, like, "I need to telephone my parents." Like, that's weird. Not like,
yeah,
"Hey, I need to call my parents." Yeah. They
yeah.
also may seem like they're panhandling or that they're in trouble, so they may come up to you being like, "Hey, I really need your help. This is happening, whatever, whatever," or, "Hey, I'm down on my luck. I need money." So it may not
Mhm,
always be that they need to contact their parents, but a lot of times that's what they need. They
sure.
want to
It
they
makes it makes sense to me that this would be more of a demonic creature in the sense of demons like to take the forms of children anyway.
yeah.
And then on top of that, people are more likely to help a child.
As
So
I say,
you're
you're
more vulnerable to it.
you're stepping on my toes, okay?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So going with that, since you already stepped on my toes, I'll just go on ahead and go into this part. So, why do they normally show themselves as children? Naturally, like humans and most mammals, have a instinct to protect children, so they see them as very innocent and everything. If you think of like, for a while there, I know Instagram and I'm assuming TikTok. I only hang out on Instagram. Had like those videos where they were like, play this for your dog, and it's like a dog whimpering or like a puppy whimpering, and some dogs will be like, "What the fuck?" and go over to the phone and be like, "Where's the puppy?" So it's the same concept. So the demon or whatever it is knows that humans are going to try to protect their young, whether it's
Mhm.
theirs or just, you know, children in general. So they're going to try to do that, and that's why it's believed that they kind of take the form of a child, making it
Yep.
creepy as fuck.
Of course. And
Of
for the
course.
record, I played that whimpering noise for Kyanite, and she literally was like, "Okay," laid back down. I was
Yeah.
like, "You have no maternal instincts."
I did that for Sophie and she was like and snored louder. So she didn't care at all.
Ah, yeah.
At all. So, anyways, they're trying to get into cars, they're trying to get into homes, but they can't come in without permission, which is why some people are like they're vampires.
Mhm.
Other than that, though, like I've not seen anything that says they suck blood or, take energy or anything like that.
Okay.
So I don't see anything that says that they're vampires aside from you know, maybe they're just being really polite and they just want permission to come in. Maybe that's
Very
it.
polite demonic children.
As I say, but that is also a demon thing,
Is it?
isn't it? I feel like I remember seeing that it was. That they like
There are so that's a good question. Did we talk about that?
I thought that there were some things, or maybe it's more like they respect deals and stuff.
I think so, yeah. That if you strike a deal with one and you like you fulfill your end of the bargain, they should fulfill their end of the bargain kind of thing.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
guess nothing to do with entering one's home.
No, if you're vulnerable, I think they're gonna come in.
Bastards.
Bastards. The only
Bastards.
time that they won't is if you put protection around your house.
Fair. Yeah. 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 That makes sense.
Mhm.
So normally anytime that someone comes into contact with these children, they are instantly terrified or uneasy and they just really struggle to fight the urge of doing whatever it is the child is asking. So if they're like open the door, the person may find themselves like reaching for the door even though they're like I'm not opening this door, and they have to
Mhm.
really fight themselves to not open the door for this child. Um yeah. So I'm going to get into some sightings. This is not following my normal path of the creature feature, but that's okay. We're
Let's
going to
mix
get
it up. I
into
like it.
we're mixing it up. We're going to get into the sightings. So, part of also why I think it may be a creepy pasta. Um there's not a whole lot of stuff about them like earlier than the 80s. So I'm like it's a little
Weird.
strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I did find some stuff that was like, "Oh, it's back in the 50s or whatever," and again, it's kind of like, "Eh." But, like,
Mhm.
the 80s is really, I think, when it took off, I guess?
Okay.
80s were wild, man, apparently. Ooh, um,
All that hair.
all that hair, it holds the secrets. Okay. So, but the most famous one and, whenever things really came into light was in 1996, a reporter in Abilene, Texas. His name is Brian Bethel. He encountered a pair of black-eyed children. So, he was in his car near a local movie theater. He apparently stopped to write a check. I'm not really sure why, because it seems like a weird place to stop and write a check, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he stopped, he's writing a check, and these two kids approach his car and they knock on the window. He rolled down the window, but as soon as he rolled it down, he was like, that was a mistake. And so
Ooh.
he didn't want to do that. But window was already down. And then all of a sudden, one of the kids, he said that they wanted to go watch the movie that was playing. And I believe it was like Mortal Kombat or something that came out. And he said, but we don't have any money. Can you take us home so we can go get money? And
Okay.
Bethel was like, no, like, no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
around this time, the older of the two kids started to tell him, like, don't worry, we're just children. We don't have a gun. Trying to assure him, we're just children. We don't have a gun. Don't worry,
Ch-
sir.
children don't specify that they are children.
Or that they have a gun.
Yeah. What?
So this of course started to make Bethel a little more um
That
upset and terrified about what was
that's
going on.
concerning.
And
Yeah.
he told him, by the time you guys get in the car and I take you to wherever your house is and we come back, the movie's going to be over. So there's just really no point. You might as well just like try to catch the next showing, go home, get your money. Don't worry about it. Go some
Right.
other day. That apparently was not okay with the older child. The older child started to get more aggressive with his demands about let me in the car, you need to take me so I can go get money and that kind of stuff. Around that point, Bethel actually broke eye contact with the child to look away. And whenever he looked, or before he looked back, he realized that he had an overwhelming sense of fear and dread. And when he looked back at the child, he had just completely black eyes. Of
I don't
course,
like it.
at this point, Bethel was like, peace, and got the fuck out of there. So
Yeah.
that's Bethel's encounter, and to this day, he still stands by his story. So people have, I guess, tried to like talk him out of like what he saw. And he was like, no, I saw these black-eyed children and they're fucking terrifying. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Ugh. Yeah,
It's
that's not okay. I don't like that. No. Mm-mm.
it's not okay. And it's not just there are quite a bit of reports in Texas and actually quite a bit of reports in the United States entirely, but they have been seen overseas as well.
Okay.
So in there's a case from, I'm sorry, you guys, please don't murder me. Cannock Chase in Staffordshire, England. In
Okay.
2014, a woman said that she was out with her own daughter, and she, like, in a park kind of area, I guess, and she heard a
Mhm.
scream of another child, and she went to go see where this child was because it sounded like they were in danger, but she didn't see anything. All she saw was this little girl, and she was dressed in white, and she had her hand over her eyes like she was, I don't know if she was crying or something. The way the lady described it was she was waiting for her birthday cake, and I don't know if that means something over in
Oh,
England, like,
like they tell you, "Close your eyes, I have a surprise for you," kinda thing, and they
okay,
cover their
because
eyes?
to me, whenever I think of getting a birthday cake, my eyes are big and wide open, and I'm like, "Ooh, I get a fucking cake." So
Yeah, nobody could make me close my eyes. I'd be
I'm
like, "Imma eat that motherfucker."
yeah, I'm not covering my eyes, but okay, so apparently she covered her eyes like she was waiting for a cake or something like that. And so the woman went over to ask the, oh, my notes say girl. She went to go ask the girl if she
Squirrel.
was girl. Okay, girls turn into Gru. Um, went to go ask her if she was okay, and the girl looked at her and had just black eyes. And so the woman said that she jumped, she grabbed her own child and started to run away, but when she looked back, the black-eyed girl was gone. Um, so that's that incident. Apparently there was a paranormal investigator that looked into this incident for the woman that was back in 2014, and
Mhm.
he says that his grandmother actually had the exact same incident in 1980 in the same area. So that to me, Taylor's making a face.
That's not okay.
So it's not okay. But this is the one that I was saying, I feel like that would be more like a ghost
Yeah, that could
than,
be definitely something more of a like, an entity kind of thing, as opposed to a cryptid kind of thing.
right, yeah. And then so apparently all in 2015 at the same area, there's like a wooded area of Cannock Chase where they sent a drone over top, and it's think that they see like a woman or not, okay, probably a child in white, and so they actually come down below the tree lines and look, and they think that they see a girl as well, which,
Yes, I actually know the exact video you're talking about. I will find it and put it on the Instagram. On
yeah,
the Instagram.
on the
Yes.
Instagram. I mean, for me, could it just be a girl hanging out in a white dress at the edge of the forest, knowing that this drone is coming by because they paid her or she's a friend?
100% yes.
It's possible.
Yes.
Also, if you look at that video, if you can find the video, that girl, that's why I said woman at first, she's
She looks
really
very much older.
tall.
Mhm.
She's almost like, I would think it's more of like a Bigfoot kind of situation than a black-eyed child, because
Mhm.
she like stands at the tree line, like where the limbs are starting and everything. So unless they're like little baby trees, she's a very tall
Mhm.
little girl. So, eh, I don't know about that.
I think I just found it.
Okay.
Drone on chase picks up new images of mysterious black-eyed child.
In the
So,
Canuck Chase
yep.
area.
Yep,
Yep.
that's where it is.
There you
Yep, I
go.
have that exact one, so I will post it for you.
Excellent. The other one I saw was like, it was, oh, I forget the ghost hunting show that it was, but they I guess were looking down a corridor, and they see
Mhm.
like a light behind these doors and everything, and then they're like, and then look what else we captured, which yes, what they captured was very creepy. There's
Mhm.
like a figure that kind of like pokes their head over from the side of like this hallway, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Whoa!" But they say it's a black-eyed figure, and I was like, "You can't see an eye there. There's no eye holes there. It's just a black figure.
It's
Like,
a
you can't."
shadow figure, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "This has nothing to do with black-eyed children. Get out of here." So,
Right.
anyways, so my last little story here about the black-eyed children, and a sighting, and again, this is where I'm like, I don't know, because most of them started in the 80s. This one is actually from 1950. So in
Okay.
1950 in Virginia, there was apparently a 16-year-old boy who they just named quote unquote Harold. So I don't know how
Okay.
true this story is. So this boy, Harold, was walking home one day and he came across another boy who was just kind of like hanging out by the fence as if he was like waiting for someone. So Harold tried to speak to him, but never got a response, which is kind of what I mentioned before. And
Mhm.
so he started to like go back, walk on like how he was going to go. When all of a sudden the boy turned to him and he said, "I want to go to your house. You're going to walk me up to your house." And Harold then noticed that the boy had just these black eyes and that there was no white in his eyes whatsoever. They were just solid black. So the weird thing was, Harold then started to think about, I could just turn and run. I could just run home. Like, this
Mhm.
kid's terrifying. I'm just going to fucking run. At that point, the boy with the black eyes said, "Now, don't you run away from me. You're going to walk me up to your house." So Harold then was like, "Peace." And he fucking ran.
Yeah.
And he
I
ran,
am definitely running away now.
I'm fucking running. And he ran all the way home. And as he was running, he heard a scream from behind him where the kid was that sounded like a bobcat. So he got home and he told his parents the story. His parents believed him.
Sure.
Sure. And like his dad went out, he believed him so much. His dad actually grabbed one of his guns to go find this kid that
Mhm.
freaking terrified his child. I don't know what the dad was gonna do. Was he gonna like go shoot this kid or like I don't.
I don't like that. I feel like okay, so me and my child comes to me and says, "I saw a black-eyed children meet Bella saw a black-eyed children." If my kids come to me with anything paranormal, I would 100% be like, "I got you, fam." And I, like, knowing what I know, would have taken a gun with me just like, I don't know what else is lurking out here. But if you're not familiar with it and you just say, "I saw a child with black eyes," I
And
don't
you
know
grab a
why a
gun,
gun would
like
be the thing. Like, I'd be like, "I'm gonna go have a talking to with that
a
child," you know?
strongly worded chat with this young lad. I mean, it was the
Yeah.
50s, so that seems to be the right vernacular right there. So
Yeah.
his mom took the other direction and was like, "My kid just had the interaction with the devil itself." So she actually decided to take him to a local priest, which I feel like was the more appropriate reaction than grabbing your gun to go kill this random child that you don't know.
Agreed.
But that's what had happened. So that was a story from the 50s.
Yeah. I would have called the police and been like, "There's a random child screaming at people, being asked to take to people's houses," and then I would have taken him to a priest and been like, "Please bless him."
Pour that holy water in. As a matter of fact, if you can just put it in the hot water tank at my house, so he just showers in holy water, that's what I need at my house right now.
That's what I need.
That's what I need. So, as I do with all of my creature features, how can you avoid them?
Mhm.
You can't,
Right.
okay? You don't. So, what can you do to protect yourself if you come across one? You do the good old thing and just do what Dare told you to and just say no. Just say no and fucking
Just
run.
say no to black-eyed
You
children.
just say no to black-eyed children. So, it gave me a lot of, La Llorona vibes as far as, like, how do you protect yourself from 'em? You don't.
You
So,
don't. You
you
just
don't.
go the other way.
Yeah. So, Taylor, I told you earlier, today that I had a turn. I had a twist for this
Uh-huh.
creature feature.
Okay.
So while I was researching the black-eyed children, I came across a little nugget that said, "Need more information? Check out the white-eyed children." And I was like, "What the fuck is a white-eyed child?
Yeah.
What?" So I had to go into it. So we're actually getting a double feature. It's
Yeah.
not like super intense because white-eyed children, it sounds like I'm saying wide-eyed. It's white-eyed, the color white.
Yeah.
Um, so they're actually very similar to the black-eyed children, but they do have some very distinct differences. So, like the black-eyed children, they're thought of as like ghosts or vampires or demons. My bet is on demons. Um,
Mhm.
and while the black eyed children seem to kind of like hang out everywhere, the white eyed children like to hang out in the really heavily wooded areas. They're hanging out around, maybe that's actually what's um, in those videos is a white-eyed child and not a black-eyed child because they like to hang out in the wooded areas and campsites.
Right. No, I you said Wide-Eyed Child, and I immediately thought of one of the most famous ghost photographs that have ever been taken, and I don't know, I'm sure you've seen this, it's from Amityville, and it's the ghost of the kid in the doorway that they think is one of the children.
Oh, I actually have not seen that video, and that actually is giving me goosebumps. It's not a video, it's a picture,
That
but it's giving me goosebumps.
it creeps me the hell out, but you said Wide-Eyed Child, and that was the first thing I thought of. So,
Yeah,
I'll post this picture on Insta as well for those who have never seen it, so
yeah.
okay,
So
continue.
yeah, now I'm like, "Where the fuck am I?" Okay, so they hang out in, like, heavily wooded areas, like, campsites and that kind of stuff. Unlike the black-eyed children, they like to travel by themselves. So and also unlike the black-eyed children,
Okay.
they don't have to ask permission to show up in your home or your car or your campsite or any of that bullshit. They may ask you, they may be like, "Hey,
Das
can
ist
I"
nicht sehr gut.
they may be like, "Hey, can I come in and call my mom?" And you'll be like, "No, motherfucker, get out." And they'll be like, "Too fucking bad." And they'll just show up in your house.
Was not a request.
When they do, they actually just kind of like stand extremely motionless and emotionless in the corner and just stare at you. That's what they do. You will be able to talk to them, but you're not going to realize how you're doing it. They're going to be talking to you telepathically, and you're not going to notice that that's not okay. You're going to sit there and be like, something feels off about this. And in general, the white eyed children do not seem as sinister as the black eyed children. It's not until they fucking vanish that you realize that was not okay.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, the white eyed children also, once you have encountered one and they piece out, you feel them watching you and staring at you for weeks on end. You also may find some like handprints and stuff on your cars or your windows or something
Oh,
like that because the child is there watching you.
no.
Yeah. So they are also said to be messengers of death because a lot of times, if someone sees a white eyed child, chances are someone close to them is about to pass away or they themselves are about to pass away.
Not that's not okay either. Why? Oh,
Yeah. So then the theory goes just a smidge, a little bit further of what if the white eyed children are actually the masters of the black eyed children?
no. No, no. There doesn't need to be relationships between them. I don't like it.
So
No.
I literally, as soon as I started reading about this, I went, ah, and I flailed my arms and I was like, ah, so I had to add it. I was like,
Yep.
this is like top notch. I got to add this.
Yeah.
So the other thought about them possibly being the masters, I actually found it's a chart, but I'm just gonna go through it with you guys about what the specific eye colors of demons, what they mean, and what they represent. So I actually didn't know that demons could
Oh,
have different colored eyes, and I feel like that's
me either.
something that we may need to get into. But so if a demon has golden eyes, it means they're representing pride. If it's pink, it's for lust. Crimson is wrath. Orange is gluttony. Blue is envy. Green is greed, and purple is sloth. Now,
Okay.
white-eyed demons are the demon chiefs of staff. Yellowed-eyed demons are the demon army generals. Red-eyed demons are the demon deal makers. So you would see them on the crossroads. And then, are you ready? Are you ready, Taylor? The black-eyed
No.
demons, they're the soldiers, the thugs, the henchmen, and the minions. So, when these black-eyed children are going to houses saying, "I'm gonna call my mom," or call my dad, or call my parents, are they summoning the white-eyed demons? Are they summoning the
No.
chief of staffs? Because 'Cause they're just the henchmen?
Oh, I don't like it. That's like, that is horrific. That nothing about that's okay, and, like, no.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
So, even better, do you know, the best way to protect yourself against the white-eyed children?
There is none.
There is none.
I was like, "I see a theme here," so
You just say no, but guess what? It doesn't fucking matter because 'cause they're gonna do it anyways. Because they don't need your permission because 'cause they're apparently the demon chief of staff. So,
Yeah.
that's I landed on that and was like, "Oh, we're gonna go down this rabbit hole." But on
Yeah.
that, I feel like it was very difficult to find information on both the black-eyed children and the white-eyed children, especially the white-eyed children. There wasn't
Mhm.
a whole lot, like, I really had to dig for it. So, anyways, that is what I have for the black and white-eyed children.
I love it. They I wonder if there's not a lot of information on it because they're like, "Ooh, we're gonna swipe this from the record because 'cause they're the demon chief of staff."
Maybe, maybe. Then the
Maybe.
other theory is maybe that they're aliens,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, and that maybe, like, whenever the black-eyed children are like, "I'm gonna call my parents," they're, like, calling the mothership, and then the mothership comes, and they're, like, the white-eyed children. I don't know. I don't
Aliens, like, that is substantially less sinister to me than
Yeah, because aliens are just kind of, like, check it up. They're like, "What's going
yeah.
on, y'all?" Like, "Just seeing
Wha
seeing what's up."
yeah, just checking on my ant farm.
Yeah, they're like, "I'm gonna get angry because you won't let me come and I can't see what you're doing, and that's upsetting." Versus a demon being like, "You won't fucking let me in? What the fuck? What's wrong with you?" So,
Right.
yeah. Alright. Everybody sleep well tonight.
I will not.
I
Yeah.
willn't. Thanks. Yeah, so,
It's fantastic.
black-eyed
Yeah,
children.
that's the second that I was like, I want you to do Black-Eyed Children." I was like, "This is gonna be horrific." So,
Yeah, and I really
it
like,
was.
as I started going, I was like, "There isn't enough info. There isn't enough." And then I found that little nugget of gold and was like, "Oh, shit. Here we go." So,
Here we go.
here we go. But
I
yeah,
love it. Very good. I liked it a lot.
good. Thank you.
Yes. I hope you guys liked it too.
Yeah.
And we've got, God, hundreds of entities to
Hun
go. So,
hundreds, hundreds.
hundreds.
For a second, I thought you were
Um,
gonna say dozens, and I was like, "That's not a lot." But okay.
there are dozens of us.
Ah!
Um, if y'all have any entities that you want us to cover, definitely reach out and let us know.
Yeah.
We've got a few already on the docket for the next few, but we're always happy to take listener requests. So, and if you have any stories of your own about the Black Eye Children,
God, I
keep
hope
them to
not.
yourself. No, you can send them to me.
Keep them to
I
yourself.
keep them to yourself. But send them to us. We like doing we want to do a listener stories thing, and we can
Mhm.
only do that if you guys send stuff in. So
Yeah.
I've already had one person send something in, so that'd be nice
Hooray!
if others did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think it suffices to say we will spook you later, bitches.
Spook you later. All right.
See you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye.